watching me? Sorry that my sound's not going to be good because I went off and left my mics. Oh, just bear with me. Just bear with me. I'm all wasn't ready for it today, but I did it anyway. So we'll give it a shot. Fishing out here. Sorry about the sound again. I know it's going to stink. Start off on the top of the truck. Probably get some shallow stuff. Traffic area right here, so quick bite. Little guy. Our temperature is about 75 degrees, so I'm fishing fast. There's a little milfoil out there. A really weird thing this time of year. Had basically had no rain. The water's still way below where it should be. I'm not sure if the fish are up really shallow, or if there's some still just kind of staging out off these edges. So, giving it a shot, see what's going on. Trying to get an idea of where these fish are. I know there's some shallow. Let's see if maybe there's some already spawned out that might be in the post-spawn mode. Grass line right there. Quick bite anyway. Another little baby. 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 These are the ones that hooked me right here. Staging out here on this grass. Trying to do a little evening drive through, you know, to see if we can get some fish. Get a few quick bites this evening, maybe something decent. See where they're at. reaction bite going on. That'd be nice. We reacted 2 of them already. Right in the middle of this pocket. Good fish. That was like a 4-pounder. Dang. Right back in there, see if there's one. Jumped off. Another one. Alright. Not anywhere near as big as that last one, but lose a 4-pounder and then you get one of these on the next cast. Doesn't make any sense. Right. Little sweet spot there. Monster, but hey, that monster. Oh, it's a little mega bass jerk bait. Just out here fishing off the edge of these spawning bays. My little sweet spot out here and got some bites. I want to hit it when it was sitting still. Funky. Making them react. It's good. Couple more casts in that little spot and then we'll move on down the bank. Right there. they're shallow on the inside grass line. There's a little bit of milfoil on here, I think. Goose over there just going crazy, splashing the water. I think where I was catching those fish is right on the edge of that milfoil, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna keep plugging along out here. I mean, that's five fish. Oh, that's a good fish right there. Pulling some drag. Pulling some, oh, good big fish. Big fish. We'll lighten up just a little bit. Oh yeah, that's a nice one right here. Nice bass right here. I might have to net her with all these hooks. Just taking my time. I don't get in a hurry with this light line. Oh yeah. Probably 4.5. Maybe not that big. Maybe a 4-pounder. Might not even be that big. I don't know. It's hard to tell with that light line, but we're got a mouthful of hooks, so we're just going to net her up to save our hand. Not that big. But nice fish either way. When she was fighting, I thought she was a lot bigger than that. Go. Nice bass right there. All right. Well, maybe a 3-pounder. I thought it was bigger than that way it was fighting out there. We catching them already. It's good. Just pulled up on a place and just start whacking. That's what you want when you got a limited amount of time. Way up shallow too, just hanging out off that edge. I didn't want to do it, but I gotta make another pass. We're getting bites, we gotta make another pass. That's the rules. Fishing right here, some of this delicious milfoil. anything slow either. I'm keeping it going. My rod tip high up there in the shallow spot, just working it along. Smack it. Grass. Back up in that little sweet spot, see if there's enough regrouped. Cast right there. That's where we're going to get him if we get a bite. Guess we're not going to get him. Little bait there. There's a bass chasing after him. Nothing. Well, got a quick little feeding spree there. That's good. Anything down this bank right here. Here's a little spot where the grass grows. Go right down this bank and check all the grassy spots. Jerkbait's a great search bait, especially when the water's warm like this. I can probably go back to that place and fish a worm or some kind of creature bait or something and get a couple more bites. I'm trying to hit as much as possible. Close. I'm notorious for getting in a little close. Give this just a couple of casts and then we'll go on to the next spot. This little stretch right here isn't quite as good as some of the others are sometimes. Nice dirt bait down. There's one little patch of grass out there right now. That'd be good. There ought to be one on that little patch of grass. I'm not seeing any evidence of it at the moment. Casting behind the bows because I'm watching my fish finder looking for that grass. When I see it, I'm just casting on it. Cast again, see if one shows up. Did have a bite there. We'll throw back in there and get another. small ones too. It doesn't have just, they're not all giants. Fish are probably hanging in about 3 feet of water out off the bank. Or less. Again, sorry if you can't hear me. Left the mic at home. Bush league. Total bush league. What we got? Get out over this edge, right off the flat. Maybe we'll get into a big one here eventually. We'll hook one of repute, as they say. Right here ought to have some fish on it now. and cast around a little bit, see if we can get one to come out. Tie. Feel like you got a little burr or something in your line, just retie. It's not worth losing a lure, losing a fish over something completely preventable. That's been my point of view on it. Shallow as those other fish have been, I do need to let the wind drip me in there. Take a long cast in the meantime. Be one set up right there. It's kind of a little indention. There's a little deep pocket set up in. Fish. Let's see. Well, on my view. nice bass. All right, let's put it back. Got her right out here. So throw it back out there and see if there's some. Keep working down this bank, getting plenty of bites. Why not? Bottom there. These reaction bites. Not having much luck on that. Catching a few here and there. Guy. Just didn't fight at all. I'll probably wait till I grab a hold of him and then start going crazy. He's just along for the ride. didn't get a bite. Catching a few here and there. What we got out there? What's going on, Alan? Yeah, we're sorry about the no mic, but I'm out here catching some fish, just fishing over these little flats with a little bit of grass over it with a jerk bait. Just trying to get a couple hours in this evening. I think we've already caught 10 or 12 and only been here about 40 minutes. That's pretty good. Shallow for sure. Just trying to make them react to this little jerk bait. Just cover as much water and see how many we can get tonight. And maybe we'll run into a big one on the way. Let me do a little top water in here in a little while too. I'm gonna go shallow. I get down on this bank. About 87 degrees when I put the boat in, which is unusually hot for this time of year in Tennessee. Water temperature is showing at 73. Also, pretty good water temperature. That means they're either already spawning or already done. Kind of a flat point right here that we're on right now. Big flat point. It's got a little bit of stuff growing on it, not much, but maybe we'll catch a fish or two on it. We'll let the wind kind of blow us back towards the bank. Turn and I know that camera's in there running. Do I see top tournament anglers? Yes. There's quite a few of them that live here. Jacob Wheeler lives here, Hunter Shryock, Carl Jochimson, I'm not sure, Buddy Gross, and we have national tournaments here too. So I've seen some big guys out here practicing. I've seen Rick Klein, John Cox, lots of big names. And I used to work at the marina, and they would come and get their boats fixed sometimes too. So I've seen lots of the name guys floating around. Some of those guys were Those guys like to fish my stuff too. Okay. Feisty jerkbait fish. Oh, don't give me hooks. All right, got him. Oh, I got hooks, mouthful of hooks. Ah, pretty fish. I don't know if you can see it with the sun in the background. Go right back in that little area, maybe we'll get another one. Water's so clear right now. Somebody's got a bank shaw. Bank shaw. I mean, he was fishing local tournaments here just a couple of years ago. So I beat Banks a few times. Almost beat Wheeler once. He joined a tournament that we were fishing, one of these little evening tournaments, and I lost one that would have got him. I would have been able to say I beat Jacob Wheeler, but I didn't. One of those one that got away stories. One right through here. We got some stuff on the bottom. I'm not sure what it is. Not sure how high it is either. Oh, thank you. I try to do a little teaching while I'm out here. Once you learn how these fish kind of operate, it's really not that hard. It's just time on the water, breaking it down and figuring out where they live. I mean, this lake's full of fish, and the other one's Gunnerville. Man, Gunnerville's just insane how many fish are in that lake. Some of the other places I fish do not have that many fish. We get one right here. There's a little jut out in the drop off. There's a saddle between two islands, a little flat point coming out. Oh, there he is. Nice one. Yeah. what's up with the spotlight. We gotta get our fish in here. Ooh, almost got me. Almost got me. Fair game. There we go. I got him, he tried to get me. There we go, and that little 1.5 pound, 2 pounder. Fun sizing. Pull this little jut out. I mean, I'm just working down the bank. Not doing anything special today. This is kind of on this bank. The water is unseasonably low, and I believe that in this lake a lot of these fish wait until the water comes up to actually go up to spawn. And it's been unseasonably low. There's another one. Same place as that last one. So I think all these fish are just kind of hanging out on the outside, just waiting. All these little bucks are just out here waiting. Man, there's a little guy. So, a pretty good evening. I think Tuesday evenings by far. If you ever come down here, Tuesday evenings by far is the best day of the week to fish. If you're going to fish in the evening, there's almost no tournaments on Tuesday, and there's just not nearly as many people out. I think a lot of people are still wiped from the weekend. None of these little pot tournaments, at least not around here. You may see a couple of boats they put in somewhere else. I mean, I don't know if they got some on the other side of the lake, but I just don't see very much traffic over here. So this is when I fish in the evening, and after the time changes and I come out in the evening, this is my This is my favorite day of the week. And with this weather like it is, I had to come out. Got in a little bit close, I think, but my boat positioning is lacking today. Oh, you should have gone. Should have gone to Gunnersville. That place is awesome. I'm gonna try to get down there a few times next month. Ooh, that fish slammed it right when it hit the water. There he is. Like a little guy. Yeah, decent one. Topwater is really good down there in May, and I really like fishing topwater. So. And it's really good in June and July too. June and July topwater fishing down there. Like, I don't have anything at stake. I'm not down there trying to catch, I'm not down there trying to catch 30 pounds or anything like that. So for me, going down there and catching a bunch of 3 pounders is a lot of fun, and man, they blast that thing. They absolutely blast the topwater. I'll talk about some of what I do when I do it. But for now, I'm keeping that under my hat. I don't even know, man. I don't even know what the format is. I kind of quit watching when they started doing the forward-facing sonar. It's just not fun for me. Like, it doesn't. I have no interest in watching a bunch of guys out there that are basically just going out there hunting down fish to make money, like where they can see them. It's just not sporting to me. But I like the old guys though. I don't know who all is even still in the MLF. But I mean, I like Wheeler, and I like Ottifo, Keith Boucher. I like, and Takahiro Mori. I really like Takahiro Mori and Mark Davis. Those are the guys I like. I don't even know what lake is Redcrest on this year. Is it on Gunnersville this year? All these big tournaments have gotten so big they can't really even do anything other than big lakes because they have to have that big city nearby for the venue. And to me, that's kind of sad, especially with MLF, because MLF has the opportunity with their format to fish a lot of places that don't normally get any exposure. And I think they did pretty good at that, at fishing those places that don't get exposure the first few years that they were doing their tournaments. But then once they got a little bit bigger and started getting a lot more steam, they kind of went back to that same deal like Bassmaster, where you know where Bassmaster's going to fish just about every year. They may throw one little oddball lake in there, but most of the time those tournaments, especially those big tournaments, they have to be near a major city. And the Bassmaster format's really, really bad because when they have a tournament like Gunnersville or somewhere like a Classic, they got to drive an hour and a half with those fish in a tank. And that's just not a good thing for the fish. I'm not like super. I really think all the tournaments ought to go to the kayak format. Just measure and release. It's not as cool, but it's way better for the fish than getting bounced around in live wells all day. I know I've done it on this lake, and I have beat up some fish. This lake gets nasty on the weekends with all the pleasure boaters and yachts and wakeboard boats. It gets rough. It took me like 30 minutes to go 7 miles one time to go to a weigh-in. And that's in a bass boat with a 225. I mean, it's not. I just don't think it's right. I mean, the fish are there because the fish. If you really look at it, the fish are there because of the tournaments. They don't. This lake wouldn't have all these hybrid fish if there wasn't a demand for people fishing tournaments and being on that. But forward-facing sonar stuff, like if you don't know how to catch a fish and you want to go out and catch a fish, it's good for that. If you're a professional fisherman, I really don't think it has anything to do with professional fishing because it's just not sporting. You can see the fish, put your bait right in his face, and yeah, he has to make the final decision, but you can tell how big the fish is. I mean, where's the skill? I mean, and it's really funny to me that everybody's banned Alabama rigs, but they haven't banned forward-facing sonar. I mean, Alabama rig is just a fishing. Forward-facing sonar literally allows you to see your fish in real time and how they're reacting to your bait. And if you like saltwater guys, real perch. If you're like a guide and you're trying to put somebody on fish, see what you say. Yeah, tournament fishing. I was winning a lot of tournaments when I was tournament fishing, so I was enjoying the money, but I really don't enjoy it adds okay. Tournament fishing, it just adds. It takes away from the pure joy of fishing because You're not just out there, you know. Like I just caught a little yellow perch. I enjoy just catching the fish is cool. But when you're tournament fishing, you're like, oh, we burn it in, throw it back, and you're just trying to catch that bigger fish all day long. And I've seen days. I mean, I've weighed in some nice bags on this lake, 20, 25 pound bags, where we had 3 and 4 pounders that we were culling, and you just don't get the enjoyment out of catching a nice 3 or 4 pound bass because you're just worried about getting to that next level and just trying to increase the paycheck. That's if you're in for the camaraderie and all that, that's cool. I was mostly in it for the money because I'm a good fisherman and I won a lot of tournaments. I mean, I mostly did the pot tournaments, but also did Chattanooga Bass Association. We went to the Bassmaster National Team Tournament. I think it was in 2021 or 22 when it was on Hartwell. We didn't do any good, but we qualified. And the guys that won that tournament were all forward-facing sonar guys. Like, how do you compete with somebody that can see that if you don't want to pay the money, then you know you got to pay to play. These guys spending $3,000 and $4,000 on these boats just to fish these little pot tournaments, and stuff. This is one of those. This right here. This is a prime example. This isn't a big fish, but he's fun. He's a good size for this tackle. I mean, this is a light action rod, and this is like a 2 pound fish. Try not to get a hook in my hand. You know, this is a good. That was a good fun size fish. It's not a 7 or 8 pounder. 7 or 8 pounders are hard to catch. I haven't heard about the paddle tails, but that's a shame that people do that just for. I mean, there's people doing crooked stuff all over every body of water, it seems like. And that's the other thing with tournaments is you get these cheaters. I mean, I got accused of cheating a couple of times. And they were in a little pot. I caught a 12 pounder in a little pot tournament. Somebody accused me of cheating. I was like, man, if I was gonna cheat, I'd put that 12 pounder in a much bigger tournament than this. That's still the biggest bass I've ever caught. You got to really work for those big fish if you're. I mean, if you're a that's why all these guys are going to that NPFL too. The other thing that I'm using this camera back view. I really enjoyed it back when Bassmaster had camera boats. You get to see a lot more of what's going on. Not just say you don't really see what I'm fishing on the bank here. I mean, you're right, Alan. You fish them all the time. And the other thing is when you're just fun fishing, you leave fish. You don't just sit there. Like if you find fish, you don't get to just have fun and catch them. You leave them so that hopefully they're still there for the tournament. So nothing wrong with it, but I'm just kind of over it. Forward-facing sonar thing, I just couldn't see spending the money to fish a way that I don't think that I would enjoy, just to be competitive. And that's a lot of money. I mean, like, if you're not on a pro level, these guys that are fishing these little tournaments, like if you have a $60,000 boat and you're not, or more, and you're not fishing like professional level tournaments, you better either be loaded or you better just really, really love it and you're going to keep that boat for a long time. Because otherwise, you're never ever going to get your money. I like the NPFL. I don't watch it. I mean, I probably should try to watch it more because those guys are doing it the way that I like to do it. Most of the time what I do is I just find guys that I like the way they fish, and I just look at their own YouTube channel. Like I like Jason Christie. He fishes Greg Hagney has a pretty good channel sometimes. I listen to Block It for tips, but I'm not as militant about the forward-facing sonar as he is. And I don't think, most of the time, I don't think he does a great job of presenting his argument. I don't have a whole lot to learn from those guys anymore either, because most of the younger guys that have anything cool to say, all they're talking about is forward-facing sonar and fishing minnows and how to dial in your electronics. That doesn't do much for me. I'm out here fishing a jerkbait and everything. You don't see too many guys doing that. Who's talking about that? Probably none of them, because they're all thinking about catching that biggest fish. If I was tournament fishing, I would not be fishing this. Absolutely not be fishing this. I'd be fishing some soft plastics around isolated cover, probably. And I'm just got a bite there. I don't know if Greg Hagney has a channel or not. I just see some of the stuff. He has a little series that the NPFL does, and he has some other stuff. I tried to find guys. An old guy that I really like is Tommy Biffle. He doesn't have very much stuff on the. Oh, there's some fish on this point. I like the old guys. I like the. I mean, Denny Brower's not really. He's always on Amistad, so I don't really care about that lake. Just a big rocky lake with some trees in it. It doesn't really apply to the way I fish. But Tommy Biffle fishes the way I like to fish. I like to watch Roland sometimes, just because he's kind of crazy. Scott Martin does a pretty good job on his show, but I don't watch a whole lot of it, to be honest. I mean, but I started watching a lot because I'm trying to design some lures. Is I've been watching Japanese fishing channels, and they're super interesting. Even though a lot of them are dubbed now, so you can actually understand what they're saying. But just the baits that they use and the way that they fish is interesting to me. And a lot of them are just fishing off the bank. You never watched any Japanese fishing? Give them a shot. There's one brand of JDM called Bottom Up. They've got some really cool stuff, and they have a good channel where they use a lot of their stuff. They've got a really neat spinnerbait that has a little blade on the front, in front of the main blades, and between the two wires, that kind of makes it act a little bit like a chatterbait. Pretty neat. And I'm always looking for ideas of stuff that maybe nobody else has seen or tried, and it's just fun. It's fun for me to get out there and try. Yeah, I think Jason Christie still runs an aluminum boat. John Cox does. I think Keith Poche is. I like to get out there. They like to get skinny with it. I mean, you're not going to tear one up throughout a season. Like, I go through a prop or two every year because I like to get shallow. I tore this prop up a few weeks ago. Still using it, but it's got some nice dings in it. Go up in here shallow and mess around. Probably won't catch as many fish as we've been catching out here, but maybe we'll get we'll hook into a good one. We'll go around this point there real quick because I want to see if there's some grass getting up along this bank right in here. I didn't know that about Keith Poche carrying chainsaws. I mean, when you fish the way those guys do, I mean, you gotta. It's a cool way of thinking. I like the idea of cutting your way back in somewhere where there's nobody's been, and just seeing if you can make something happen in what's basically a virgin area. I was on, like, this is my home lake now, but the lake I grew up on, I was on it a few weeks ago. There's a big beaver dam, and I remember one time driving my boat over the beaver dam just to get back in there and see if I could get some fish up in there. Caught 2 or 3, so it was worth it, but it was a lot of work. A lot of work doing that unless you really hit a place where you can load the boat. He's gotten disqualified a couple of times for some crazy stuff that really shouldn't be a disqualifiable offense. These days they've got so many legal things that they have to observe. Some of the stuff that they have banned ought to be allowed. You're gonna let them use a tool where they can literally see the fish swimming in the water. You gotta be able to jump a ramp that's meant to be jumped. Like some kind of little boat ramp to go, like a little boat slide that I saw one of them. That's what it's there for. I know he's done some other stuff not that, but that's what I'm doing. I'm in the process of fixing up my bass boat to sell it. And I already bought this boat. I didn't want to be without one, so I bought this one about 3 years ago, and I've been mostly fishing out of it. A lot cheaper on gas too. I can fish a long time on 2 or 3 gallons of gas in this boat. Versus, you know, my bass boat has 2 22-gallon fuel tanks. A lot of fuel needed, especially right now with the $4 gasoline that we got going on. Alright, I see a clump of something right here. Let's give this a quick cast. Clump of grass or something out there. So I have a feeling this year the grass on this lake is going to be pretty good, unless they decide they want to start poisoning it again. For years the milfoil had been eradicated, and it was mostly hydrilla and coontail. We're starting to see the milfoil make a comeback, and now we're starting to get some eelgrass, which not a big fan of eelgrass, but pretty good. Eelgrass is rough because it'll break off and it just covers. Like at Gunnersville, there's places that you'll pull up on, you can't even fish it because there's so much eelgrass on the surface. Starting to see a little bit of that here, but it's not real bad. And the other thing, there's a grass bed behind me. I gotta try that. The other thing about the eelgrass, and I don't know what's going to happen on this lake because this lake draws down. Gunnersville, they don't draw it down. It only fluctuates about a foot or two. This lake fluctuates 6 or 8 feet. So I think that might help keep it in check. Be some good grass, I think. Gas is I'm actually surprised just in the world gas is as cheap as it is because of how scarce of a resource it is. All right. Put this down for a minute. I'm gonna play around with the buzzbait for a little while. If I can find it. And I got my trick worm in case I miss one. Found a shad spawn this weekend. Found a shad spawn up on the Hiwassee River. Bites on this thing. Also fishing on spinnerbait up there too, but I will not be fishing spinnerbait in this clear water. Down here, I have not done squat. Little rock piles out here. A little bit of grass right there. don't know if this boat would handle. I don't know if it would handle the Great Lakes, but it does pretty good around here. Good looking patch of grass right out in there. I don't know if these fish are ready for top water just yet though. Top water is really good on this lake in May. Yeah, well, this boat has really low. The back end of this boat is pretty low for most situations. Should have stayed on the outside and done what we were doing. I'll try to make a quick pass of this and just see if we get any bites out here. There's a little road bed up here. I want to fish that jerkbait on, just see if there's anything getting up on it. I caught some monsters on that road bed. Sun's low, so I can't really see any of this cover the way I was hoping it would be. There's all kinds of little rock piles and stumps out here. We don't get in here shallow enough. Good rocks out in here, so I'm gonna cast around and see if maybe something will come up and pop it. Try that worm a little bit. Buzzbait's working good, but I'm not catching any fish on it. Had a few bites on it the other day. For me, that's good. It's good in May, but it doesn't seem to be great in April for some reason. Little rocks in there. I don't think these fish are coming up in the shallow stuff just yet. I really think they're waiting. Oh, Oh, I'd love to fish Table Rock and Bull Shoals too. They do look like that. That whole, what is it, the Arkansas River, the White River. I heard that's a really, really nice area. Weird fishing this water being this low this time of year. It's just a really, really good hard bottom place. Have a little bit. There's a fish. Yeah. Get on that road bed. A little road bed bass. One of the bigger ones I've caught today. They're gonna give us another jump. Nope. There we go. Got a face full of hooks. Oh. Doing that. Nice guy. Sorry to beat him up like that. I got a big mess. Look at this mess. Oh, I floated halfway across this stupid thing in the process. That's not good. I'm gonna have to bug out and come back. Bug out and come back on this. Just made all that noise. I don't like making noise in shallow, clear water. When I do that, I don't expect to catch any fish. I'll go over here and fish a couple other little places and maybe come back. Milfoil. Only 3 feet deep right here, so I'm just kind of keeping the bait up high. Normally don't like to fish it this direction that I'm fishing it either. So. noise, never got another bite. That's how it goes. That's what I get. Cleaning up here a little bit, and I want to fish a lizard a little bit, so go old school with a lizard. Oh no, it's a jig. Look at the fish. Going over to a little underwater, it's a, well, it's just a foundation, an underwater foundation up here. We'll give that a shot. Tied on, but it's a jig, so we'll just work with what we got. Let's see what we got. Not very deep out there, but there's just a lot of little cover for them to hang around and try to spawn and all that stuff. So there ought to be a fish or two out there. I'm feeling it good. I'm right where I need to be. Cast, I'm bouncing on the bottom good. I just think it's too early. I know there's some in here because I've caught some of them in here. I just don't know where they're. Maybe way up in the back of these little pockets where it's super shallow. Lake was at prime. This was a guarantee right here. This was a guarantee 4 or 5 pounds. Cast, and then we're moving on. Slow, didn't it? When you go back out there where all the fish are biting. I'm not going to. I got a couple of places I want to try over here, and then it'll be time to head in. wellhead out here. It's got some hard bottom around it. Got some, if I can hit that thing, I'll get a bite, I think. Right there, I think I hit it. Make a move on the outside of the plate. Two more places to hit, and then they'll probably be trying to go. Trough out here. Got some hard bottom on it, a couple of stumps. Doesn't look like much of anything. Sometimes fish will get in here. You know, on the other side it drops off pretty good, and then there's some grass over there, so maybe we can get a couple of bites. Doing that, we'll see. Only a couple of feet deep in here, so this probably isn't the right bait, but give it a shot anyway. Got a little color to it. I might be able to get away with a spinnerbait in here. Growing up in here too, that's good. Saw some swirls. Saw a little swirl action. Let's throw it right back in there, see if we can get one to commit. What's wrong with these fish? No commitment out here. Except for this one I got on right now. Ooh, that's a big fish. I think this is a big fish. Hard to tell so far, but he's giving me a run for my money on the drag. Staying down. Might be foul hooked, whatever it is. Ooh. Got something with some weight on it. I haven't seen him yet. Taking my time. Probably a foul hooked carp or something, but it's not really fighting like a carp. No, it's just a. What is it? It's foul hooked, whatever it is. Catfish. Boo. Alright, come here. Alright. Gave me a little excitement there. You never know what you're going to catch out here. A nice little catfish. All those eaters. Now we get to retie. I think we're okay. I was hoping it was going to be a big old huge bass. They just surprised me, but it wasn't. Y'all can't see anything with the sunset. Hopefully I can get this boat turned in a little bit. Some shallow water jerking out here. Less than 3 feet deep. Oh yeah, that was a good eat. That was a good eater. All right, we got some. Now we're starting to see that milfoil. So right here, where it starts to drop off a little bit. And there's a little hump over here too. Not much to it, but. Bigger clump on this side. Give it a quick cast. See if anything wants to participate. Nothing wants to participate. Starting to drop off just a little bit. We're gonna have some good grass this year. I'll get this area turned around a little bit. Been kind of on the decline for a long time. It's been overfished, and the tournaments are starting to ease up some. But man, they were brutal for a few years there. Over here, I got two little stumps I'm gonna fish, and then we're gonna go fish some eelgrass. Sneak up on it. I don't like to go barreling in. I like to give it a little there's a good chance I'm gonna hang up on all these too before I get a fish. Real good hard bottom here. A couple of big stumps, like really big stumps around here. It's also kind of a little ditch too. I had him and I missed him. I got him this time. I missed him again. Went right to him. Let him get off. The importance of like really learning your lake. These are some like just two stumps. Just out here, just two little solo stumps. You know, they can produce a fish. If you're a tournament guy, they can produce a fish that can really help you out. Nope, that's the stump. You gotta hook up on it. Yep. I knew that was gonna happen. Eelgrass to finish off the day, and then we are all good. I'm gonna put this out. I'm gonna put this back away. Get a little crankbait rod out. think. Yeah. Put a little small fat crankbait on this one and a rattle trap on the other one. Rattle trap will probably be the one that gets the more use because it comes through the grass a little bit better, but this little bitty crankbait, little Mega Bass Z1, man, it catches fish. It's just a little, they like that little profile a lot of times. And I think if you want a square bill, I like the balsas most of the time. If you want a little square bill, it's only about 2 inches long, that will straight up come through some wood. That thing will truck. All right. Nice. I don't know if y'all saw that sunset. It's pretty. We got a pretty sunset this evening. But it ought to be pumping off because got the wind blowing into it, got the grass, got a little bit of off-colored water. In the evening, I don't think anybody's been fishing the whole time I've been out here. One thing you got to worry about around here on this lake is fishing. Man, fishing pressure will get you. If somebody sees you catch a fish, you might as well just fish your favorite spot goodbye. Probably share about 12 other people anyway. Well, we had a spot a few years ago. We had 2 places. For whatever reason, they just kept producing. We won 6 tournaments in a row. Like little evening pot tournaments and stuff. 6 tournaments in a row off 2 spots. I had 3 fish one time that weighed 16 pounds off of it. It's possible to get on them. Put this down, we'll put our trap up. Trapping? mud line in here. We're gonna kind of fish around this little bay until we get over to where the grass is, and I'll slow down and kind of concentrate on the grass. Professional overrun. Sunglasses off because I don't need them anymore. All right. We got some milfoil growing in here too. All right. Be a good grass shooter, I think. Make me want to fish Chickamauga some more. I've been kind of avoiding it. Right there looks like bass. Been avoiding Chickamauga for the last couple of years just because of the general lack of grass and just the fishing pressure. Nothing wrong with the lake, it's just, you get burned out. But I think if we get some good grass this year, I might give it a little bit more of a shot. Y'all stuck with me, I appreciate it. I don't know if I've done much teaching tonight, but I did a little bit of catching on the front end. And then I kind of just left where the fish were and just tried some other stuff. I probably should have just stayed out there and kept on catching, if that's what you want to see. I don't know. Bite right there. Kayak Fish TV, where are you located? Grass is all out in here, so we're gonna fan cast around, see if anything wants to help us out. Okay, so you just up the road then. You know all these places already. I'm not showing you anything new. the other day when the wind was whipping really hard and they were stacked up right here. I get a bite or two back in here at least. Nothing. Yeah, I might do that, Timothy. It's a unique boat. It's a unique boat for sure. I don't know if there's anything. I mean, I did all the rigging myself. I bought just a boat motor and it had a little hand control trolling motor, and then I went through and just did all the other rigging. And it fits my needs. I don't need something real big anymore. I would like to have a little bit more horsepower on the back. Is the grass down on Nickajack? I know the eelgrass really took over there a couple years ago, and I haven't really been back. The lake was on the upswing, and then I'm sure now that guy caught that. I don't know if it ended up being qualified as a. Thank you. I don't know if that guy ended up qualifying for the state record. But I know he caught that 15-pounder out of there, and I figure it's probably getting beat up every weekend since. You know, Chickamauga got beat up when that other guy caught it, and then Rajni Brown, he's catching those 40-pound stringers. I like fishing Nickajack, but it just fishes a little bit too small for me. Chickamauga fish is small too, but it's not quite as small as Nickajack. You really don't have it. I mean, I went down there one time when they had a high school tournament. I don't know who in the world thought that doing a high school tournament with like 200 boats on Nickajack was a good idea. Oh yeah. I don't really like fishing Chickamauga in like the winter and the spring because there's just no cover. But like when you get that pressure like you're talking about, you just feel like you're fishing behind somebody all the time. But when we have some grass in here, and I think it's going to come back. Get a bite on this eelgrass today. When we have some grass in here like this, I think this eelgrass really takes a hold, and it gets out. You know, if it stays out in that 6 to 8 foot range when the water comes up, I think this lake will turn on big time, and I think it'll stay on. Different. I guarantee you nobody's fishing this jerk bait in that 4 feet of water out here. That's why I've just been going in. That's why I've been going to Nickajack, because I mean not Nickajack, Gunnerville. Got all that grass. No matter how many people fish it, I feel like there's just some fish in there that don't see that many baits. You have a shot at putting your lure in front of a fish that hasn't seen a bait that day. And it's just fun to fish too, because it's kind of shallow. It's got all that grass. Nothing. A little piece of wood right in there. Catch a big fish off of it. Not today, but I'll catch a big fish off of it. I mean, this is the only frustrating thing. There's already all kinds of eelgrass getting up on the surface right here. I'll go down this bank with my crankbait, finish the day off, and then we'll just call it a day. Fish in here, and it's all, I mean, it's not even that much grass in here. You can't hardly fish in here. The only thing that kind of irritates me about the eelgrass. Well, I'll give us about 5 or 6 more minutes, and I'm heading to the house. Appreciate everybody taking a gander this evening. I see some gar working over there. Burn this crankbait down through here, see if we can get us a quick reaction. Doing that on the jerk bait earlier, so the water. I wouldn't do it on the crankbait. All right, folks. Thank you for coming out this evening. I'm sorry I didn't catch any big fish, but anytime I get a chance, I'm gonna come out in the evening because I like it out here in the evening. It's a lot less going on as far as boats and jet skis and all that stuff. So just thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.